public life. So the first day that we'll cover will be in 2005, on the 4th of January. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives this course in Jain Public School in Tamil Nadu. So in the early days of Swamiji, his activities in Tamil Nadu, in the various parts of Tamil Nadu, Swamiji used to give public talks, and in these public talks, there was, as you guys can see in the pictures below, a huge amount of attendees. So Swamiji used to do a lot of satsangs and open public talks where a lot of people used to attend. That was something that was very specific even in those days. If you knew, or if you do see some pictures, or if you check on Nithyanandopadia, you will see Swamiji used to conduct also Maha Satsangs. So satsangs, again, with a huge amount of attendees. So we can see here in a Jain public school, Swamiji used to travel everywhere and reach out to any part of the population. So here in a Jain public school, we can see Swamiji teaching or talking about the spiritual truth to lots of youngsters of Tamil Nadu.
As beautifully pointed, Bhagavan gave so many massive Mahasatsangs. We have seen people up to 50,000 capacity, and Bhagavan giving discourses and initiating people, and not just Hindus, but even the Jain. Bhagavan decoded the Jain sutras. Mahavir Jain, and his all these Jain sutras and different Hindu sampradayas. He explained the deep secrets and all that, and the incarnation has come alive to revive 10,000 sampradayas, out of which only 2,000 sampradayas are just barely surviving. And if we don't use the conscious solution as Avatar incarnation, His Divine Holiness Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, in yesterday's address, he told the whole entire world that now we need to look at conscious solutions, and the temple technology is one of the best conscious solutions, as explained by His Divine Holiness in last couple of glimpses which we have revealed, how he explained the importance of the Hindu technology and the temple technology. And he also this is the various, he visited to various temples in Varanasi in 2006, and this is the main temple in Varanasi, and he's offering the Abhishekam there, and how the ritual worships are to be done, and is showing the world what context it needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and reviving that whole technology. So 4th January 2007.
So yes, in 2007, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism launched the Nitya Yoga of Eternity, at the ashram in Bangalore, addressing the first group of Nitya Yoga teachers. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave a short and powerful introduction and blessed the new project. So here we can see pictures of Swamiji conducting yoga, a very rare sight, at least in the last few years. Here we can see the early days. This is the first, like it is mentioned, the first Nitya Yoga teacher training, which was conducted. Nitya Yoga is a unique yoga which has then evolved into Nithyananda Yoga. And it was basically the yoga dimension of the training that Swamiji received as a child, mainly from his yoga guru, Raghupati Yogi, and the yoga which is for the purpose of manifesting, obviously, health and all that, but ultimately awakening your consciousness and manifesting powers. So here we can see young Swamiji, young Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, conducting the yoga class and supporting the attendees, training them for them to take the responsibility of bringing the science of Nitya Yoga, the yoga of eternity, to the world, enriching people and helping people to raise their consciousness and manifest a better life for themselves. So again, amazing pictures, seeing Swamiji going through the students who are learning the Nitya Yoga.
Very beautifully shared by Sri Nitya Ashutoshananda Maharaj, that Bhagavan started the Nityananda Yoga, and Bhagavan also revealed in one of the things, there are different, like this incarnation, the avatar, will be revered by people for thousands of years, and one of the contributions to the entire humanity will be teaching them how to do the yoga of eternity for connecting with the divine, and teaching them how to bend their body, how to do it, and at the same time getting the consciousness awakened. So he will be known to the humanity as one of the best yoga gurus, and so that will be revered for thousands of years. And that's what, and this is just the seed in 2007. And as Ashutosh Maharaj mentioned, his guru, Raghupati Yogi, and how he trained the incarnation, the avatar, from age 3, and how to, with just one hand, he had to climb all the pillars of the, you can read the autobiography of Yogi, you can see in the Nityanandapedia how Raghupati Yogi, his yoga guru, he trained Swamiji to just climb all these pillars with one hand, and in Tiruvannamalai, the divine temple town. So now the next. So here, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducts the Nitya Spurna program, NSP, which is called program in Pridhi, and you'll see thousands of, tens and thousands of people used to attend these programs. They were 2-day program, there's 1-day program, ASP, NSP, and they were so popular. And at the end of that, the program, people used to get the darshan of Bhagavan one-on-one, and such a, then Bhagavan also created a battalion of trainers who could conduct the ASPs and NSPs across the globe, and share this divine self-awakening, inner awakening technologies. So Bhagavan's programs may be 1 day, 10 day, 2 days, 10 days. They are so life-changing, and you can see the sharings of millions of people across the globe, how their life has been transformed in these 1 day, 2 day, or 10-day programs. And their context towards the life is, the inner programming is completely changed. And I can let Ashutosh Maharaj share about this.
Yes. So one thing that I can add is that these programs which were designed to help people to drop their patterns, to drop the behaviors which are responsible for lower states of consciousness, emotions, lower frequencies of emotions and thoughts. Swamiji designed many programs throughout the years. The NSP was one of the first ones, if not the first one, the Nitya's Purana program. So all these programs were designed to help people first to understand where they are caught in a life negative pattern, and then giving them various ways and techniques in order to attend to those patterns, to break them, so that they can reinvent themselves and re-experience life in the way that life is meant to be experienced. So it was amazing contributions from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The next year we have, on the 4th of January 2009, Kalpataru Darshan. So we can see Swamiji on a golden asana, where Swamiji gives the Kalpataru Darshan. Even on the left side we can see also Swamiji with a healing stick. In those days he used to have few healing sticks looking like that, so that is amazing picture. So Swamiji revived, brought forward this science of Kalpataru, the science of manifesting your reality. Kalpataru is the wish-fulfilling tree. So Swamiji revived this science, and very early, here we can see in 2009, and shared this science with the world. Even when I discovered about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, this program was still being conducted. So that was really a very short but very important program to re-empower people about first the right understanding of what is the science of manifestation, and at the same time a process which we can all go through when we wish to manifest something, in order to identify what are the thought currents, the cognitions which are responsible for stopping that manifestation, and then the science of how to consciously manifest what you want. So a very important program. Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, is all about you manifesting the reality that you want to live, whatever you wish to manifest in your life. What is the science of that manifestation for you to experience, and experience also the fulfillment of having manifested what you wish to experience? So the science of Kalpataru Darshan, Kalpataru is extremely valuable and is very unique to Hinduism. So here we can say, after the process, on the picture on the right, we can see that the participants had the blessing of coming to Swamiji one by one, receiving the energy transfer, the Shaktipad, and the darshan, the blessings of Swamiji individually. So that was one of the programs that Swamiji used to conduct in those days.
So with that, now we move to the next. So here, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, bless the devotees, disciples, Kailasa Vasis, and Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the mission conference for all the Kailaya Vasis from all around the world. As you know, in 2010, we already had the two-way video conferencing system where thousands of centers across the globe were all connected, and His Divine Holiness used to give guidance to the mission, the Nithyananda mission, our Sangha, and he used to bless the devotees and disciples, and he had the Sri Mahant SMKT order created so that people can be part of this divine mission across the globe from wherever you are and contribute to the humanity. So now the next year is January 2011.
So in 2011, we have yet another breathtaking discourse by the living enlightened master, the living avatar of Paramashiva as per Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism describes about aparigraha, non-possessiveness, as the key to exist. He describes in this limb of Ashtanga Yoga in great detail and gives profound truths based on quantum biology, quantum physics, biomemory, and muscle memory. So aparigraha is one of the fundamental vows that is made in Hinduism, especially for those who live the path of brahmacharya or sannyasa, or even in Sri Kailasa, the various Kailasa vasis. Aparigraha is the decision to live with minimal things, whatever is required. So Swamiji was sharing that everything which we possess and which we do not use on a regular basis is a weight on our consciousness. So being aware of what we need to be able to perform the responsibilities that we have taken up, identifying what is needed and using that, not getting anything more, not getting anything less. So it's a very powerful vow and lifestyle which helps you in various ways to remain active and to be very much aware of what you need. And so Swamiji was saying that when there is something which you possess for more and you do not use it for more than 6 months, Swamiji says that you should plan to donate it, to give it away or something, because if it is not used on a regular basis, if it is not something that you use for more than 6 months, then surely it is becoming a weight. It is becoming a weight in your life and on your consciousness. And it's very important to exist with a light consciousness. So here, as part of the limb of the Ashtanga Yoga, so Ashtanga Yoga is a yoga which talks about the 8 dimensions, 8 limbs. So one of those limbs is the vow and lifestyle of aparigraha.
Yes, as beautifully mentioned by Shutosh Maharaj, the importance of aparigraha, and it's very nicely described in the Living Enlightenment book also, in the context of, and Bhagavan explains these principles. You can be a billionaire and still be following aparigraha. How he explains that, like Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he did the entire thing, but he was never attached to those objects. He gave Sudama, his friend and his devotee, like this entire golden city, and but nothing touched his inner space. That non-possessiveness is very important, and Bhagavan explains in this and hundreds of discourses. And not only that, explaining the concepts of biomemory, muscle memory, all that Bhagavan is doing it from 2004, and through yoga, how to fix all these. And when he fixes our biomemory and muscle memory, you really experience the whole new world inside you. This whole experience, like when I attended, when he was saying, now I have this in Nithyanandotsavam in Phuket, he said, now the muscle memory will be all reprogrammed. And literally we were, all thousands of people were experiencing that oneness, because the whole muscle memory was reformatted. And so these, not just talking about these profound truths, but giving that experience to the being, and those truths become you part of your biomemory, is the life goal of Bhagavan, and how to upgrade in conscious lifestyle. Because Bhagavan again and again yesterday, there is no otherwise. There is only one way of saving the humanity through this consciousness of, and living consciously. Yeah.
So with this, I will just take a short break and we'll be right back for the further years of the glimpses of the past, glory of the past. Yes. Yes. So welcoming you back. So going on to the next year, 2012, 4th of January, as we saw, as we've been seeing in the last few days, this is a time where there used to be a big cyclone crisis due to cyclones in various parts of India. And Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, was personally helping the people during the crisis. So here we can see Swamiji used to travel with his devotees, disciples, and Kailasa vasis to various places in order to help people who were undergoing these crises. Crisis is because of the intense weather damaging their life and affecting their lives very badly, in this case in the form of cyclones. So we can see Swamiji traveling with his Kailasa vasis and whatever is required to set up kitchens where it was needed. So we can see in the picture on the top right, Swamiji and a devotee cooking in a huge pot, cooking a massive amount of food in order to give food freely to people. One of the big initiatives that Sheikh Kailasa is taking to the world is the No Hungry Home project, which is a project where we give free food to people to help them in whatever situations they're facing. So here we can see the picture on the left, Swamiji giving food to people who come to him, as well as giving them blessings. So it's a very important project. Up to date, Sheikh Kailasa has offered more than 1 billion meals like that, free meals to people. So Swamiji quoted in the past that, enlightenment is the purpose of life, but it is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to transmit enlightenment if your stomach is constantly screaming. So food is a fundamental requirement for people to be settled in the body. And when they are settled, after that we can transmit the higher sciences of life in order to manifest moksha, liberation in one's life. So here we can see a few pictures of those moments Swamiji cooking and giving food to people undergoing crisis.
One thing I would like to remind people, especially when these crisis situations like crisis of cyclone, again, Bhagavan reminding the devotees, reminding everyone to raise for humanity, explaining the fundamental principle, life is for others. And in these crisis situations also, putting yourself and going to these crisis sites and taking that humongous risk and opening these pandals, building these things with whatever minimal material, taking the food for thousands of people and cooking the food. Bhagavan himself cooking the food in that on the top right picture. And there were several, like, collectors and devotees and dignitaries who came to visit. And not only that, Bhagavan demonstrated to the Hindu charitable foundations and Hindu other things, other organizations, that Hindus need to unite. And because these crisis situations were looked as a way of converting people in massive quantity, and showed importance of how the Hindu organizations need to unite. And because he's an incarnation, he already was able to, in spite of the peak persecution happening, hundreds of attempts to murder, finish Bhagwan and his work and all his thing. In spite of all that, risking his life, Bhagwan went, His Divine Holiness, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, went to all these cyclone crisis, the natural disaster crisis. And yesterday again, Bhagwan again told the entire world in the 45th Avatar Dinotsav, he mentioned the importance of living a conscious life. Devi Parashakti has again and again repeatedly said that people need to change to the conscious lifestyle. And the media, especially the Dravid gang and the media, which basically just make opinions and finish off, how much negativity they are creating, and how that results into these crises of cyclone and the pandemic and all these things. The negative mental setup is a big concern, and how Bhagavan himself demonstrating the world, even though he has nothing to, but he has come to save the planet Earth, save the mental setup, and how to live blissfully in oneness with the whole ecology and environment. So next slide. So this is 4th January 2013. So Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Nithyanandam Paramashivam, bless the devotees, disciples, Kailasvasis, and accepts the Pada Puja. You can see the Pada Puja offering happening, and he is receiving the Pada Puja. And devotees across the globe, when they come for the large darshans, they will bring their like this page, or pages, or whatever boons and blessings they want. Because when you go in front of Bhagavan, you forget completely what you want. So Swamiji used to say, take a paper, write whatever your wishes are, all that, and then he would go through that, and he would give the solution to the devotees, and boons, blessings, whatever they want. And he become the cosmic co-creator and fulfill their desires, devotion, all that. So here now, Bhagavan, just yesterday, with his compassion, after 3 years, Bhagavan said that now these programs are going to start, and one of the offerings is going to happen. You're seeing the Paramashivoham live trailer, and now we can start experiencing and how Bhagavan changes one life at a time, one being at a time, transforming from aham to Paramashiv, aham to directly to Paramashivoham. And so those programs are now starting, and so we are so blessed, and that's happening in this 2022. And Bhagavan, with his compassion now, is going to start the Paramashivoham program. So the next slide is 4th January 2014.
So on the 4th January 2014, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explains the importance of knowing who we are, and additionally, knowing the people with whom we associate. Our fate is decided by this group of people, our Sangha. We must be careful of our choices. We should never associate with self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial. Just one wrong association can crush and destroy all the good qualities you carry. So in 2014, Swamiji is revealing about the SDHT, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, and how it is extremely important to decide to be surrounded by the right people, having the satsanga, the people around you, the group around you, which helps you to move towards the ultimate, to move towards the truth, and not a group of people which reinforce the life negative patterns that you would have cherished since the beginning of this life. And so it's very important to have the right surroundings, as the surroundings are constantly a reminder, an external reminder for you to move towards your goal. So being surrounded by the right people so that you stop cherishing self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial is extremely important. And Swamiji revealed about that on this day in 2014. If you go on Nithyanandopadia, you would find more about this. So inviting you all to check Nithyanandopadia. So yes, very important. The conscious decisions we make, the people we decide to associate ourselves with, is not something trivial. It is something of the highest importance, and these decisions should be made with the highest level of understanding, and they should be made consciously.
So beautifully Bhagavan explained, and Ashutosh Maharaj also re-emphasized. And there's a beautiful verse Bhagavan explains from Bhaja Govindam, where Satsangatve Nisangatva Nisangatve Nirmohatvam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. So he explains the importance of Satsanga, being in the right company, and we must be careful of our choices. And just one wrong association can crush and destroy all good qualities we carry. So beautifully Bhagavan explained, and tirelessly Bhagavan is building the Kailasa ecosystems across the globe. And yesterday Bhagavan, in his 45th Avatar Dinotsavam, you can go and hear that how tirelessly he's building the Kailasa ecosystems and the nations across. As he explained. Okay, so 4th January. So you can see these videos on Nithyanandopadia. We'll move to the next slide.
So here, 2017, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principles of the length dimension during the everyday life public talk, the Nithyanandotsavam. During the live public address titled Manifesting Powers of the Length Dimension, Nithyananda disciples initiated to solve any equations. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism entangled the Nityananda Yogam delegates with the length dimension and revealed the differences between the length, breadth, and depth dimensions. He revealed that when people bring food, he does not enjoy the taste of the food, but the attribute and the love with which the food is brought. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism explained that a man who is length-based will enjoy only the dimensions of the person who is dancing, or the dress, or the movements. However, if someone is based on the breadth dimension, they will enjoy the emotions expressed, the attitude shown, the bhava, the art of it.
So here, 4th January 2018, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, along with the Padayatris, and blessed all of them individually. So Padayatris means these people who are doing the Padayatra from Tiruvannamalai, 200 kilometers away, and walking all the way to Pirthi, Bangalore, for coming for the Avatar Dinotsav, and they walk back from on the return journey after the celebrations of the Brahmotsavam, and then they carry the Gurumudi with them and all these things, and Bhagwan himself, with his compassion, walked with all these delegates for many kilometers, and so you can see that here. So 4th January 2019.
So in 2019, we will see a short video. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism blessed everyone in the Munishwara Darshan. So Munishwara, an incarnation of Paramashiva, a ferocious incarnation of Paramashiva, which helps us to break the life negative patterns and establish ourselves in the highest levels of consciousness. So let's have a quick glimpse of the Munishwara Darshan that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave in 2019.
Nithyananda, as we just saw that beautiful glimpse in 2019, Sanatana was also part of this Paramashivoham program, and how Bhagavan, he gave that darshan, and that just shook the entire thousands of people across the globe. And now with the new camera technologies, new 3D videos, and all these things coming out in the world after the corona pandemic and all that, now I can't imagine how the Paramashivoham level 3 will be after the deep tapas Bhagavan is going through, and so eagerly to reveal all this. So glad that this Paramashivoham 3 is coming. And so Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, explained about pure ahara as one of the fundamental principles of Hinduism, that which not only purifies the future, but purifies the past too. The 5 principles, ahimsa, aparigraha, asteya, brahmacharya, and satya, along with the three gunas, rajas, tamas, and sattva, were explained, and the 14th shloka of Bhagavad Gita was read. So His Divine Holiness concluded by giving diksha into power manifestation, and such a powerful power manifestation was happening. And so these very important principles which we have completely forgotten, and how Bhagwan, like I personally can vouch for it. My life before meeting Bhagwan was, I only knew one mantra in life, Dollaraya Nama. I was always how I can make millions of dollars more, and how millions can become billions. And I had an IT consulting company and all these things. And it was all me and mine, my family, my kids, my this, my that, all that. But after connecting with Bhagavan, the entire globe has become Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And it's not like I have forgotten, so this ahimsa lifestyle, after Bhagavan gives this initiation, it just becomes, you are enjoying the oneness with every being in cosmos. And even the mosquitoes coming and sitting, he also, hey, how are you? And he will sing a beautiful ringtone and wake me up in the morning. So that blissful existence, the 3 gunas, rajas, tamas, sattva, are explained in the earth goddess, the Bhuma Devi. When I wake up, it automatically makes me bow down to her, and I'll sing the mantras and invoke her, and I will pray her, and gratitude just overflows from the body. And 14th shloka from Bhagavad Gita, like all these. So this all just be part, experience this Paramashivoham, this program which is coming up, register, give a breakthrough to yourself and see how, let Bhagavan just give your 10 days or 21 days, whatever you have for this upcoming program, and be ready for the transformation. I have received that, I have experienced that, and it has transformed my life. It has expanded my thinking from just me and mine, from aham to Shivoham, Paramashivoham. And what Bhagavan wants us, that each being be part of that, get that experience, and you be the spark to millions. I'll let Ashutosh Maharaj comment.
So yes, one thing that I can add regarding this is that these 5 principles, which is ahimsa, parigraha, asteya, brahmacharya, and satya, are fundamental vows and principles in Hinduism, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, for a dharmic living. So Swamiji, even yesterday during the satsang, the public address of the 45th Avatar Dinotsava, the celebrations of the 45th anniversary of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Swamiji put the emphasis on the importance, realizing what we have done to ourselves and to the world in which we live, to the world which is our home, and shifting out of it towards living a dharmic lifestyle, a dharmic-based lifestyle. So these 5 principles are extremely important. Non-violence, ahimsa is non-violence, aparigraha, living with minimal things, like we spoke about a little bit earlier, asteya, non-stealing, brahmacharya, living like God, and satya, telling the truth. So these vows are extremely important for us to come back to a dharmic lifestyle.
And
so finally, 2021, on the 4th January, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, expounded on the cosmic principles of Kailasa during the everyday public talk, Nithyananda Satsang. In this talk entitled Kailasa's Purpose is to awaken people to the greater science of Hinduism, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared that the purpose of reviving Kailasa is to implement consciousness-based life and to awaken people to Hinduism as the greater science of life, consciousness, the universe, and cosmos. He explained that every time a Hindu is diluted or converted, the world is losing spiritual depth, along with Hindu territory. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism declared that Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation with territory, will happen and is happening. He called for all Hindus to wake up to this great responsibility to practice, protect, preserve, and spread Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the greater science of life. So in 2021, Swamiji put the emphasis on reviving Hinduism through Sri Kailasa. So Sri Kailasa is the revival, the only Hindu nation, the first nation of Hindus, and the importance of understanding the science, the greater science of life. Hinduism is not a belief system, it is not a faith, it is simply the greater science of life. And like we mentioned just in the previous slide with the 5 principles, so these principles are the depth of existence. When we live these principles, we experience the depth. That is why Swamiji here is sharing that every time we lose a Hindu, the world loses spiritual depth. So it is very important to understand this greater science of life and to implement it in our life and share it with people around us so that we can raise our consciousness, others' consciousness, and we can manifest a lifestyle which is more blissful and more in tune with the world around us. So with this, we're coming to the conclusion of this segment. Let us now be ready to receive the darshan of Devi Parashakti, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Sit, close your eyes, sit with your neck, spine in a straight line. Close your eyes, bring your awareness to your Anandagandha or your third eye. Visualize His Divine Holiness. Breathe in deeply. Inhale deeply, slowly. Exhale deeply, slowly. Give vacation to your mind, to your thoughts. Come back to a space of pure, restful awareness, a space of unclutching, a space of zero TPS, zero thoughts per second. Inhale, exhale.